Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Fallout 76 guide. This time I'm going to show you how to get as many disease cures and aid items as you want or need. You could even turn this guide into a proper business if you would like. Get ready to learn something new. Let's begin. It has been a long time since I worked on a farming guide. Actually, I made my previous Steam Pack and Rat Shield Unlimited farming guide over 6 months ago. It feels like yesterday though, time really goes by quickly, it flies. Anyway, I have been low on disease cures lately. I am often getting sick from doing nothing much, especially with parasites. They seem to love me. It's a nightmare. Maybe some of you guys share the same issue. I mean, I log in and sometimes I instantly get parasites because I spawn in the water near my camp. It's like the game didn't even load properly yet and I am already sick. It's unreal and quite annoying to be honest. Plus, it's a waste of disease cures too. So I decided to research how to farm disease cures, which involves farming other aid items as well. I found some really amazing places to do this and I don't think I will ever run out of disease cures / antibiotics after this guide. It was about time for me to learn how to get as many as I want. I hope this video will be useful to you one way or another. Let's get into details. Alright, before I show you how to farm unlimited disease cures and antibiotics, I think it's a good idea to remind you why you should have a decent amount of these aid items in your inventory and/or stash. First of all, because diseases are a huge part of Fallout 76. You can get sick very easily even with full armor and perks. About anything in the world can make you sick. Water, veggies, meat, even different radiation sources and many types of enemies can pass on diseases to you, especially bugs and glowing enemies. Sure, there are a few ways to cure your sickness or pile of them. For instance, you can cure all of your afflictions for free and at once by simply visiting the sulfur fountain at White Spring. But that's not always viable. Imagine you had to go there every single time you catch something. Tons of loading screens, tons of caps spent on fast traveling. Well, that would be very frustrating for me at least, since I get sick multiple times per playing session. There are some aid item vendors in-game, like at White Spring, which doesn't sell any disease cures or antibiotics. Alternatively, you can buy one antibiotic every 24 hours from the Enclave Medical Terminal if you have done the faction quests. But honestly, what's one antibiotic every day? That's basically nothing. So that motivated me to find another solution to create this farming guide. So let's begin for real now. You probably already guessed what I'm about to show you. There is a very handy perk for scavenging aid items under luck. It's called Pharma Farma, and I highly advise you to get the rank 3 perk to get the 80% increased chance to find extra chems in medical containers. I mean, 40% and 60% are also okay if you can't afford the maximum level. It's surely better than no chance at all. But if you want to optimize your farming, then please do yourself a favor and get rank 3 Pharma Farma. Before we start farming, I want to tell you 2 other essential points. First, you can only search an aid container every 24 hours. It has a cooldown, which means you can't farm the same locations twice in one day. You simply won't be able to use the search option again. Now, the second point is about something that not a lot of people seem to know. What is considered to be an aid container? Most will tell, oh, it's the mad white shaped box with some green letters on it. You're correct, but there are 2 other types, the doctor's bag and the mirrors too. They are considered med containers and you can search them as well. Now, keep in mind that the first type of med container can be on top of all sorts of furniture, hidden in the floor, inside fridges, or even hanging on walls. Heck, they can even be yellow sometimes. They are not always white. So next time you go on exploring and looking for med containers, you should find way more than before with these tips. Well, hopefully. What gear should you use to farm disease cures and aid items in general? Well, you surely shouldn't be wasting your precious ultraside ammo unless you've got enough to spare. You're going to face dozens of enemies and most of them are low level or fairly easy to kill. I recommend you to use a decent weapon with cheap ammo like a shotgun, or even melee weapons if you can endure the no register bug that forces you to hit the same target multiple times, when in theory you only need 1 or 2 hits to kill it. If you have a stealth build, then train your patience, go for the medical containers and ignore as many enemies as possible. Unless of course you're also looking for experience and other resources. I've been rushing locations, ignoring a lot of enemies and taking some down to mostly prevent myself from getting killed. I used my shotgun to do this guide and it worked wonders. The real question now is where to go in order to farm as many aid items as you want. Well, I took the liberty to create a new farming map with my top locations, which includes some popular names like Westtech and WATOGA EMS. Don't worry, I will go over each one of them right after this separator. That's why this guide is quite long. There is no specific order here, I basically ordered the locations from left to right in this map. But in the video, I have ordered them by convenience and the amount of 8 containers. I think that should help you a little bit more to decide which locations are the best for you. Keep in mind that most of the places listed here have at least 10 aid containers and lots of isolated aid items lying around. However, if you are doing this just for the disease cures, then you should focus on searching the aid containers only. It will save you plenty of time, I can tell you that much. If you are looking for an easy and rich place to scavenge, then the Morgantown airport is probably your best choice. There are at least 13 medical containers here and all the enemies scorched around is very weak since this is a low-level location. Now, most of the med containers are located in the responder's base, so I think it's safe to say they are somewhat gathered in a small radius area. I usually start from the spawn area and go on a straight line. This last tent here has 1 med container, but that's it. You can't keep going forward past the responder's tower and the robotics house until you find this greenish cyan cargo container with a lock, which has a med box for you to search inside. There are also aid items around, like inside the fridges. Once you are done looting, you should head to the closest military tent. You will see a doctor's bag on a table there. Make sure to search it. Then it's time to head to the next military tent, where you will find yet another med container on the very top of a shelf. Now you should cross the street and enter the medical laboratory. There is a wall med container at the entrance on the right side. This one is very easy to miss, but it is surely there. Now go forward and you can ignore the room on the left and the one in front. No containers there. You want to enter the right room though, because there are 3 med containers in this small doctor's room. There is a mirror just above the sink, there is a doctor's bag just below the x-ray on the wall, and a white med container on a small table near the oxygen. Time to go upstairs and look at the tables if you want random aid items. Otherwise, keep going forward through the corridor until you see another doctor's bag on top of a table, right after the corner. There is 1 more med container here and it's inside the locked fridge. It's up to you to decide if it's worth the trouble. It's a level 0 lock though, so it's pretty easy to crack. That's it for this building. Get out and go past the gate towards the building with the cautious hazard sign and you will see a wall container on the right side once you get in. Now the container has a level 1 lock, not as easy as the previous, but it usually has extra good stuff inside. This is one of my favorite med containers in the entire game, so go for it, don't forget to search, and voila! There is nothing else in this building, so keep going towards the quarantine part where you can find 2 more wall aid containers right after you enter on both sides. Just look behind you, loot and search, and that's about it for the Morgantown airport. I couldn't find any other medical containers, but it is possible that there are some more in this specific area. The WATOGA Emergency Services is my favorite location for farming aid items because the instance is quite small, but the amount of medical containers here is astonishing. There are 11 and you can do a full run in about 10 minutes. So you really shouldn't skip the WATOGA EMS if you're hunting disease cures and other medical items. That's just the way it is. Before the elevator, you can find random food and aid items inside the tables. Now, once you go up the elevator, check the reception desk. There is a random aid item there and a container too. You know what to do. Skip the room behind and keep going until you see a corridor. You'll have to fight off some liberators and then it's time to look room by room. There are 3 containers in this small area and lots of sparse aid items around. And on top of furniture. Just take your time and pick them up, it's business, you know. You can always sell what you don't need. Now go upstairs and head straight. Ignore the workroom on the left and the computer room on the right. Kill any enemies if necessary and head to this door, which is the bathroom with 2 medical containers inside. How convenient for us, huh? Next, you should go to the middle locked room. It has a tough lock, but you have to do it. Open one of the doors, it's your choice, get inside and start searching because you will find 3 more medical containers in here. 1 white container on top of the middle table, as well as a doctor's bag on the other side of the table. Don't forget the mirror on top of the sink, and that's pretty much it in here. You can find many other aid items though, including a stealth boy every 24 hours, just to let you know. Now, the last room has a lot of stuff as well, isolator aid items all over the place, and 2 more med containers. 1 white near the open containers and another doctor's bag in the middle of the room. That's it, 11 containers in total, and it should be a very quick run. I simply love this place, I think you will too. Well, the WATOGA High School is not the best place ever to farm aid items or disease cures, but it's a convenient place. Let's put it that way. It is very close to the WATOGA EMS, which is a really great place to farm, and it has a decent amount of aid containers, at least 6. There is another plus about this place. It's normally empty, which makes it very easy to navigate. You can just go straight to the containers and move along. There are 2 in the science room. Take the entrance stairs and it's the first room on the right, not the toilets though. 1 white box on the shelf and then a mirror in the sink near one of the doors. Alright, now we should head downstairs and go to the kitchen area where you can find a white aid container in one of the lunch tables. Keep going inside the kitchen and behind the counter you will see another white box. Don't ask me why there are 3 aid containers in the goddamn kitchen, I don't know. The third one is even further in the next room. Look at the counter and there you go. The last aid box is in the theater area on the control room. It's a yellow box and it's right on top of the table as well. Just turn your people light on and you cannot miss it. That's it for this one. You can skip it if you are short on time. There are far better locations in this guide. Another top pick is the AVR Medical Center. It's an instance sort of hospital with at least 13 medical containers. Now this place is a bit confusing because there are dozens of rooms and 3 or 4 levels here. However, most of the aid boxes are on the infirmary area, which is on the front entrance level past the restaurant. You can skip both reception areas, nothing there sadly, but don't forget this small room here with 2 mirror containers, very handy. You can forget the bathrooms in here because the mirrors are broken. Now, I did a little bit of searching because I was sure I saw some boxes before, but I couldn't find anything. So I went back to the room I looted and then I saw this path with lots of rooms. It's the infirmary area, so start looting every single room you find because you have containers, lots of them. Just keep an eye on the walls because almost every room has a mirror, and for doctors' bags as well. You can basically find the 3 types in a balanced number here. Make sure to pay attention to which rooms you have searched already. They kinda look the same, so it can be extra confusing at times. In my first farming session here, I missed all of the containers, just to give you an idea. When you reach the end of this wing, you will find stairs in a main hall with a reception. Just take your very right to continue searching the infirmary rooms. There are a few more, not too many though, just 2 more, and 4 more containers. That makes it 12, 8 containers so far. I found one more lost in the kitchen, but I do believe there might be a few more in random places. I did a little bit more searching, but I didn't find anything else, so 13 it is. I have been coming here more and more often lately whenever I need aid items. The enemies are also low level, which helps a little bit to navigate the place. Well, Fort Defiance is the ultimate location for farming aid items. It's the place with the most aid containers that I know of, but this place is huge, and it's filled with animals and feral ghouls. Plus, it can feel like a maze at times, with over 30 rooms and 3 levels. I personally don't like to farm here, but it's the perfect place if you're looking for optimal results. You can farm ballistic fiber, as well as a few legendary ghouls, lots of junk, and of course aid items, including disease cures. Despite the fact that bathrooms hold the majority of the aid items here, there is still a fair amount of sparse ones across the facility. Now, I usually start on the 3rd level. I check for uniform spawns and start searching the 2 mirrors in the bathroom here. That's my starting point. Then I make my way forward towards the 2nd bathroom, which is past the metal cage thingy, often with mole rats inside. It's the first door on the right coming from the elevators. Again, you have 2 more mirrors to search, and that's it. There's also a hidden Nuka-Cola machine that often spawns colas, lots of them. Now keep moving forward and ignore the rooms until you find this metal platform with a wall slide. You will find the 3rd bathroom on the right side when you go down. Yep, you guessed right, there are 2 more intact mirrors for you to search. Then you can go past the kitchen, there's usually food there if you need. Anyway, you can ignore the locked rooms except this one on the right side at the corner. It has a laser rifle on the bed and a med container on the floor. That's what we're here for. Back to the entrance, it's time to explore the left wing. Keep an eye on the right side still. The 4th bathroom will be there as you can see. 2 more mirrors for you to get. Be careful with the ghouls though, there are about 20 of them around this part of the facility. They will get up as you move and chase you down. Keep going forward on the hall interception, go to the 1st room on the left. There is a lonely mirror there on the right wall. Get it. Keep going forward until the next hall interception, until you see this sort of wooden path above you. On the left side, you will find another bathroom with 3 med containers inside, 2 more mirrors and 1 white med box on a table. Way forward, at the very end of the facility, you will find this remote room with a lost aid box. Yay! Take the wall slide to go down and enter the right room. Then enter the next one through the crack and you will see another med box behind the mattresses. That's some strange room, let me tell you that much. In the same hall, 2 rooms ahead on the right side, you will find another room with an aid box on top of a small table. Well, that's all 16 med containers I found in Fort Defiance. I think there may be more, but hey, this is more than enough. Finding and looting all of these containers takes about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you are looking for the containers and fighting the ghouls. That's a hell of a journey. It seems like the West Tech Research Facility is good to farm almost everything. Only recently I discovered that this location is really good to farm aid items, not just legendary bosses and experience. There are at least 11 med containers inside the facility, and most of them are located inside the research labs and bathrooms, of course. So it's all very close together. You don't even have to clear the entire place if you're just going for the medicine. The quickest way to farm West Tech is to enter from the backyard and get inside the research lab. Enter the main room and you'll immediately see a doctor's bag. Then go ahead and unlock this door to access another 2 white med containers on top of different tables. You can also pick up the toxic goo there for free rads if you're using a bloodied build. Now go towards the left side and then access the second room on the left where it says West Tech in red and white. You will find another med box on a table near the chemistry workbench. Keep on searching and you'll get more and more meds. Don't bother with the first floor though. There's no aid boxes there as far as I am aware. Leave the labs through the same door you've entered and head to the right side, then go to the left and finally into the bathrooms. Damn, toilets are amazing in this game. You can find 4 intact mirrors in here, all in one small room. Just loot, search, loot again, and repeat. Then keep on moving. Hopefully you find lots of disease cures in here. Once you are done, head to the left and enter the lockers room, where you can find another 2 aid containers, 1 white box in the wall and 1 doctor's bag on top of a small table. We are already at 10 containers. Impressive, huh? Don't you think? The last one is in the main room on the first level. Take the stairs and check on top of the chemistry workbenches. This one is actually quite easy to miss. I believe there is another one inside the front locked lab, but I couldn't be bothered to remotely open and then go back just for 1 container. I actually forgot to do this, so oh well, I'm happy with 11. Free experience and free legendaries. Yep, West Tech cannot be challenged. What about this low-level town called Helvetia? Well, if you play Nuclear Winter, you surely know that this location is really good for aid items. That's how I found out about it. You can find at least 9 med containers here and you can basically ignore all the low-level scorched around. So in 5-10 minutes you can do a full run. You just need to know which houses contain your treasure. Okay, so from the spawn point, you should go all the way down the road towards this restaurant house. You can find 2 aid boxes here, one at the reception desk on the floor, and the second one is a yellow box on the kitchen at the first level. There you go. Now you can move to the center of the town. You need to run a bit and go past a wooden bridge. Look for a colorful yellow, green and red symbol near the door. That's the building you want to enter, the hotel or hostel. Head upstairs and check every room because they all have a mirror each. Searching and looting, repeat, repeat. Hell yeah. 3 more should be yours. Now go to the post-mail building, which is a little bit forward, and on the very top you will find a bathroom. I searched the other rooms to be sure, but there's nothing much there. However, you can find 2 med containers in this bathroom. That's good enough, right? Across the street, go to the church and make your way towards the very top. You will find a scorched horde inside the church, so watch out. Other than that, just keep on moving. Take all the stairs and then on the tower's floor you will find a yellow med container there. Feel free to jump down from the ledge, you won't die, I promise. And finally, the last container is in the garden area in this small dome. That's all 9 containers I could find. Maybe there's more, but I kinda doubt it. Helvetia is definitely worth farming for 8 items. It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. The last location I have selected is Camp Venture, and this is a very biased pick because it's not even good. There are only 4 mat containers here, but this place is very close to my camp and it's a super quick run, so I come here quite often. It's also the location where you can deliver your daily technical data. So it is a very convenient location to farm some aid items in the end. Who knows, maybe even some disease cures. There are 3 mirrors in the main bathroom close to the spawn area just in front of the shack where you deliver your technical data. You can find a wall white mat box close to the door and the lockers. That's pretty much it. As I said, it's a very simple and quick run here at Fort Venture. Well, after all this farming, I ended up with over 20 disease cures and dozens upon dozens of aid items. Remember when I said you could open your aid item business at the start of the video? Guess what? I wasn't kidding. You can put any aid items for sale at your vending machine at a reasonable price, of course, and people will buy it. I often sell aid items, all sorts of buffs and utility really, especially steam packs and radaways. Disease cures sell really quickly as well. So here's some last tips for you. If you need caps, this is not a bad way to generate passive income while you play. I mean, you farm to get something specifically, right? So you keep what you want and then sell everything else you don't want to keep. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Well, the decision is entirely yours. Alright, this was a really long video, probably my longest video so far. I wasn't planning on adding so many locations, but while researching and testing, I found them so useful that I didn't know what to discard. Why would I leave them out anyway when I can add them all? Yeah, sure, it's a bit longer than usual, but maybe it can help different people. You know, diversity is a beautiful thing, and I'm sure that while some of you guys prefer to farm in the mainstream locations, there are also some of you who prefer to farm in quiet places with less resources. So there you go, I think I provided that diversity element here. I am Marta Branco, thank you so much for watching until this point. I hope you won't run out of disease cures and other aid items in the future. At least you should know how to farm them now. If you are new here, then consider to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I cover Fallout 76 and I do have a Patreon page for anyone who would like to support me even further. The link is right below the video as always. I am wrapping things here. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you very, very soon in the next one. Until then, take care. Adios. Bye bye.